Am I wrong for filing harassment and a restraining order against my ex-husband after he tried to make me his second wife? A little backstory: I got married quite young to a man I thought truly loved me. In hindsight, it's clear he was more interested in my financial stability and the benefits of being married than in any kind of genuine emotional connection. Things went downhill quickly, and despite having a daughter together shortly after we tied the knot, we ended up getting divorced. I thought our daughter would help mend our broken relationship. We were both young and naive, thinking the circumstances would change once our daughter arrived. Spoiler alert, it did not. After our divorce, I took on the majority of parenting responsibilities. He had no custody rights but was supposed to pay child support and could have supervised visits occasionally. For the first few years post-divorce, we somewhat co-parented, but around the time our daughter was 9, we went completely no contact. He stopped making child support payments and chose to disengage from our daughter's life entirely. It was painful for both me and her. Then a couple of years later, something happened that changed everything. When our daughter was 11, he posted an ultrasound photo on social media, announcing that he and a new partner were expecting a child. It was shocking to see. What hit harder, though, were the comments from people who knew him, asking about our daughter. It was a terrible reminder of how he had completely abandoned her. In a public YouTube video, he even stated that his oldest child, our daughter, meant nothing to him anymore and declared he was in a new father era. To make matters worse, he leaked my home address, Instagram, and business email in that same context, which put my family's safety at risk. After this incident, things escalated. My daughter found out about the video from her ex-best friend, and then people started reaching out to me, accusing me of keeping her away from her father. They didn't know the full story, and it hurt to see how quickly misinformation spread. Eventually, someone leaked my daughter's social media accounts, and she started receiving awful messages, even death threats. That was the last straw for me. I had her delete her accounts for her safety. As if that wasn't enough, he reached out to my mother after that, claiming he needed to talk to me. At this point, I was done. I finally gave in and took the call, hoping to get some closure or at least hear him out. But instead of talking about our daughter, he said he'd like to have me back in his life as a second wife. He claimed that his current wife wouldn't mind this arrangement and that he envisioned us all living together, with him essentially wanting to create a polygamous-type family. He insisted that he had a room ready for our daughter and that he wanted to bring our families together. My reaction was nothing short of horrified. I shut that down immediately, made it clear that was not happening, and blocked him from all my social media accounts and my mother's phone. Despite all the boundaries I tried to set, he still persisted, reaching out via email to my business account. At that point, I felt like I had no choice but to push back legally. Filing for harassment and a restraining order was my next step. However, my siblings think I'm overreacting and tell me he might just miss me as a wife, which I flat out disagree with. To me, it feels like emotional manipulation and an absolute invasion of my privacy and safety. So here I am, stuck in this moral dilemma. I really believe I'm doing what's right for my daughter and myself, but there's a nagging feeling of guilt whenever I think about how my actions might affect him even though he hasn't shown any regard for our daughter or me so far. AITA for taking this route with my ex-husband?